One. What's up, everybody? This is Zach
And Derek.
with the Nerd Cave.
I'm back, peeps.
We are. We're covering E3 2017 all this weekend, and today we're going to be doing EA.
Yes, I'm ready. It's
You
my
ready?
favorite time of year.
Is your body ready?
Probably not
Is
because
your-
I'm old, but
You're not that old. Like
I got
people,
gray hair.
people are always like, "Oh, I'm old," and I'm just like, "You're not that old. Like you could be dead. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
You could be dead.
Could always be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse. You could be like being fed to a lion, or Santa Assassin coming after you.
Oh Lord, don't bring up Santa Assassin again.
No, he's here.
He knows when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
So Derek,
Mm-hmm.
this is your favorite time of year.
Oh yeah, my Super Bowl for video games.
Yes. So today is EA,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be a good day. Hopefully,
hope.
we hope that they break the curse of being boring.
Lord, as long as they avoid any awkward costume dress-up people, or if they avoid any awkward conversations with retired sports stars like Pele.
Yeah, they haven't done really well with all of that.
Like they tried to do something different last year with them trying to like do a dual live stream from like London and the US. Like they kept
Yeah.
going back and forth and it was just really confusing.
Yeah, I don't think they understand how the conferences work in this day and age.
No.
But you know, we hope that we eventually get better at this.
I feel like EA is like the equivalent of like the that meme. I think it's like Steve.
Buscemi?
Yeah,
Buscemi?
it's like, hey, cool kids, or it's like, what's up, fellow young kids, or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. Like like you look at PlayStation, you look at Sony, and they do such a good job of just games. Like they've cut out like people coming in and talking. Like that's reserved for PSX. I think they'll keep to that this year as well. But you see them going just completely games, just constantly games, and I think that's what other people need to be doing instead of, oh, let's bring out this person, let's bring out this person, how about let's bring out this guy. And
We'll talk about it on Monday as well, but Ubisoft kind of is out of touch like that too.
oh yeah, they're in this weird place that doesn't understand
Or they
the
think
culture.
it exists still.
Yeah.
So.
Hashtag Girlwood. That is
2
what
days before. That's a record, I believe.
I know. I'm not looking. I'm actually glad that I'm missing Ubisoft's conference this year because I absolutely despise that. But let's get into EA.
Yep.
We're here for EA and nothing but EA.
EA. That's only venue on the docket for today.
Is it in the conference? Like EA?
Oh, is it? It's in the game.
Yeah, like in the game.
Probably
all
won't
of that.
be in the conference, but we'll see.
Let's hope.
The people
hope.
won't be in the conference.
Huh?
The people won't be in the conference. Their bodies will be there. Their minds won't.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
Guys, if you're in the chat right now, where I see Jacob's in there. As you're jumping into the chat, let us know what you're most excited for. We're going to be periodically checking in with the chat and everything. So don't think that we're not paying attention.
Right.
We're always paying attention.
this is just more business fun.
Yeah, Santa Assassin is always paying attention. All right, let's get into it, Derek.
All right, so this is what we're expecting to see. This is kind of like this first part of the show is going to be sort of a mix of what we already know / what we kind of think we're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
But then we'll get into more of like the up there, the cloud 9 predictions.
Yeah,
later on.
yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this out of the way because it's going to be majority or a good part of their conference. It's going to be the most boring part of their conference, even though I play one of these. We're definitely going to see sports games.
Oh yeah, sports
So-
everywhere.
And that covers Madden, FIFA, NHL, and NBA. They keep saying NBA is going to be here, so we'll see if that holds true. Or
God,
not.
if NBA is there, they are wasting their money.
Well, they've already been wasting their money. They openly have admitted that they're going to keep putting money into NBA until it gets to a point where it sells. Actually,
And they're going to keep wasting money because once they killed NBA Live off the first time, 2K took that spot and has owned that spot and will own that spot because 2K does such a good job
they put
at
the
their
time
stuff.
and effort into.
Yeah,
theirs.
it's not like they're just pumping out bull crap, which they're doing there.
Even though they do have issues with My Park and all the online features at launch, but that's beside the point. They put the time and effort into it regardless.
Oh yeah.
But
We have, I'm sorry, not to interrupt, we have someone who's, I don't know who this is, but their name is Tooled or Tool Ed 68 says NBA Live needs to end.
I agree.
Yeah.
They should have never brought. I don't blame them for trying to bring it back, but after 14 was an abysmal failure and 15 didn't do any better, they should have just cut the umbilical right there.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
But we already know that Madden is going to come out August. They're doing things different this year with all their games, right? So a couple of years ago they started doing these upgraded deluxe editions. For a few bucks more,
The
you
GOAT.
get in-game content. Well, and then last year they bumped it up to $20 for some of it, except for Mass Effect. Mass Effect was the only one that was a $10 upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Now this year they're doing, hey, we know we did $20. You don't really like it, so we're going to add an extra incentive. All of our $20 upgrades are going to be 3 days earlier.
Okay.
So Madden, the standard one's going to be out because they're doing it all on a Friday now.
Yeah.
So Madden's going to be
That's
out.
interesting. They're going to a Friday instead of a.
Well, you've seen that in the trend now. All these games are like saying, "Hey, we don't want to share Tuesdays anymore. We want to actually we want to be the same week because we don't want to, because otherwise we're screwed either way."
Yeah,
so we'll
yeah,
just do
yeah.
it on a Friday. We'll still be sharing a week, but we'll still have our own day for
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
So it'll be August 25th for the standard, and then if you want to get the GOAT edition,
Goat.
it'll be the 22nd. Then FIFA, we just got announced last week where it's going to be, and it's always usually end of September. The standard is September 29th, which means the Ronaldo edition, which is what they're calling their special edition, is September 26th. Interesting fact. It's not being called they're not doing the Ronaldo edition, and it's just called FIFA on Switch. It's coming to Switch, but they're not having any of like the journey or anything like any of the special features.
Yeah, which I figured they wouldn't because the Switch is so underpowered.
Yeah, it is.
That's okay. You're
At
getting
least
to
they're
take
getting it.
Yeah, you're getting to take it on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But NHL, I thought it would be there. It wasn't at their conference last year, but they did show it 2 years ago. But now they actually came out the other day and said that they're gonna do a full reveal. They've already teased it, but they're gonna do a full reveal the 21st, which is pretty much next week.
Yeah.
So, or a week and a half from now. So that's gonna be interesting to see if it's even gonna have like a presence
Yeah.
on the stage conference. But it usually comes out around mid-September, so it comes out same month as FIFA, so
Yeah.
it'll probably be 2 weeks before. So I expected to do that same deal there. And NBA Live, like it used, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you remember the last NBA Live they did it was 16 with Westbrook on the cover? Didn't it come out around the same, like either with a week from or the same week as that of 2K as that year?
I'm not sure, to be 100% honest with you on that one.
I'm not sure either, but I expect it to be October just because I don't think they want to cram 3 sports games into September.
Yeah, if they do that, then you're definitely splitting hairs and you're not getting.
Yeah.
You're oversaturating the market.
And with NBA keep getting earlier and earlier, like it's out mid-September, so you want to have plenty of space for your game to thrive.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So I expect it to be announced for October, or at least it might just get something as simple as fall, just in case they have to push it back again.
Yeah.
But
From the chat, real quick,
Yeah.
it seems like this is from Ethan Toole. It seems like EA is finally learning with Madden Story Mode. Thank goodness. Although it probably won't be a personal experience like 2K has, but I feel that they will get there.
I agree, and that was going to be our next point. They're starting to do like they did it with FIFA last year, called The Journey.
Yeah.
And I don't play FIFA, so I don't know how well that went over with fans, but it seemed to have some sort of a positive effect because they're doing it again this year.
Yeah.
And then they're starting to add one in for Madden. They're doing their own version of The Journey with Madden. They'll probably be like Gridiron Tasks or something like that.
Yeah, I think that
they'll
would
give
be
it its
cool.
own name, but
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see, and I might actually give that because I don't play anything other than Connected Franchise and just scrimmage mode on Madden. So if it looks interesting, I'll attempt to play the Journey mode or whatever
Yeah.
it's going to be called. Do you think they'll do that with their other games? Like, you think that they started with FIFA, that it found some success, they're going to do it with Madden. Do you think they go ahead and jump the gun with at least NHL, or do you think they wait and see how Madden receives it, and then the next couple of years they add it for their others?
I think I would go with NHL first, but I wouldn't do it all in one shebang.
Yeah, especially with NBA Live.
Yeah, especially NBA Live. Like 2K's got it way better than anybody else right now. So I would just stay with the ones they have until it's kind of more proven.
But wouldn't it be interesting if they pushed it back a whole year because they wanted to work on the story mode for that too? Because you got to think they're trying to copy what 2K does. Like
Yeah.
the year 2K did the face scan.
Yeah.
What did NBA Live 16 do? It was on a phone app, but you could put your face in there too.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're going to try and emulate like try and keep pace with 2K.
I think they will, but when it
I
comes
don't
down,
want it to.
yeah, when it comes down to it, they need to do some of the things on their own. They need
Yeah.
to have some ideas for themselves, because if you just reiterate what somebody else is doing and has success, you're just an iteration of that.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing with that.
Right.
One.
Now, this is interesting because it's not an annualized sports franchise, but it has come out every other year. I think it's time for them to show off the next UFC game.
Mm-hmm.
The last one came out spring of 2016, and then the one before that, the first came out in June 2014. But every
Yeah.
other year we've had UFC.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to announce it this year, and then like spring, like March, April, they're going to
Yeah,
release the
yeah.
next one. Now they kind of did the Ultimate Team mode for that, but it was different because Ultimate Team and the other sports, because it was all based around teams, like giving you different players, different stats, whatnot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to help build it. Whereas UFC, they kind of give you more like attributes because it's a
Yeah.
single fighting style.
Yeah, I liked the last UFC game. I thought it was pretty good.
The controls were more simplified in the second one than the first.
Yeah.
When you have to press 8 buttons to do a kick to the head, you're overcomplicating
Yeah,
things.
it actually was pretty like user friendly this past game,
Mm-hmm.
and I know me and my brother played it a lot. But if they do it again, they need to make it where it has some more depth to it, because once you figured out how to like do one of the things really well, you could just destroy somebody over
Oh,
and over
yeah.
and over. So having something where it's not just the same thing again and again and again.
Still can't understand the ground game though. I'll be honest with you.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I
the ground game's
I can
bad.
get out of the ground locks, but I can't initiate them or hold them. So
Well, that's where I won most of my battles.
yeah,
It was on the
I
ground.
guess I just need to get better at that. 'cause
You need to
that's
get
where-
good.
I know.
That's what I would say. You need to get good.
Like Dark Souls good.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you think going with the theme of it? I know most of their sports games will come out this year, but if UFC does come out next year, do you think they'll still want to do a career mode with that? Because they did Ultimate Team last iteration. Do you think they'll do a career mode with this one? And the only reason I ask is because if they're doing a 2-year gap between games, I think they would want to add it, because otherwise you're waiting another 2 years before you add a story mode.
I think they'll do something with it. I know the last one they had, it wasn't necessarily a story mode, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But you were building your own fighter and you were building up the ranks to be at the top of the UFC.
Right.
If they do something that's more interactive, I think it will be interesting. But then again, you're going back to the well of we're pulling from, everything else that's before us. Let's do something interesting. Fight Night was a great example
Yeah.
of a good game that had an interesting story, other than I couldn't beat that last freaking guy in the last Fight Night. Oh my God, he was so freaking strong. But it had a good story to it.
Right.
I enjoyed it because it had such a good story with it.
I would like to see it. I mean, and you bringing that up, I would like to see them bring back Fight Night, but I think because UFC has taken off so well, I don't think we'll ever see another Fight Night unless they stop UFC.
Yeah.
Personally, that's just my personal take on it. But with Ultimate Team, how they had to adapt and change it to make it make sense with what they want to do for that game and that style of game, I think they should do something intriguing with the story as well if they do incorporate one.
Yeah. If I would like to see a Fight Night come back, but I think boxing as a whole, it's lost its hype.
It's still, but it still has great, betting and like title fights and whatnot. It's just
Yeah,
not as
yeah.
prominent as it was back in the day.
Yeah, so that would be my thing. I love boxing.
Yeah,
The sweet science. The squared circle.
as they called it.
Yeah. I don't know why they would call it a squared circle, but whatever. They've been hit in the head too many times.
Yeah. So continuing with that, do you think we'll see? Like, I think because we haven't seen a PGA Tour game in a while. Last one was Rory McIlroy, 2014, and apparently it didn't go over so well because they haven't done one since then. They've done kind of it's not EA, but they've done the golf club. The second one is just coming out at the end of this month. So
Yeah.
there's a golf game, but we haven't had an EA sports golf game. So do you think it's time to bring one back, or do you think they're just kind of going to let it go to the wind?
It'd be interesting to see them do it. I don't think I'd be curious to see what the last game sold, see their
too.
MPD numbers on that, because if they're not seeing a big enough return or on their investment, I think they leave it. But
I think there's a demand for it though, because you think baseball, like on Xbox, like you pretty much have RBI baseball, which is utter garbage, but you have the show on PlayStation. But on Xbox, you don't have that, and there hasn't been a golf game, and that's at least where I work at. That's two of the most talked about games. Like, is there a new golf or is there a new baseball game on Xbox? And it's like, well, we got this one, and it's just. I think it's time to at least try again. Like, if this one doesn't do it, then just cut off PGA Tour altogether.
Yeah, I even after Tiger Woods got arrested for a DUI last week. I don't know if it's time or not. Me personally, I don't play golf. I don't
they
really
would probably
care.
do. They would probably do someone with the cover athlete with someone else, because after they Tyler,
I didn't figure they would do it with old Tiger.
Another one I'd like to see come back, and this is just based on what Ubisoft did last year. I'd like to see a new SSX game. We haven't seen one since I think 2010.
Yeah.
But because Ubisoft brought Steep into the world, now it had a lot of great stuff. It was a typical Ubisoft game, big world, a lot of checkbox stuff to do.
Yep.
The only part I said.
Did you climb any towers or like synchronize the map?
You did. I don't know if you synchronized the map, but you didn't climb any towers. You
too
fell
bad.
You fell from mountaintops.
Too bad. I love going up towers and synchronizing maps and fixing little radio boxes.
In every game, right?
Picking up feathers.
Even in Rayman. Kidding. But I think it's time for them to at least experiment with the thought of bringing SSX back, just because Steep found an audience. And now, granted, it came out beginning of December, where no other game comes out much. But it was received well. The only thing that lost fans after a while was the challenges didn't improve a lot after a certain point. So I think EA needs to experiment bringing back another extreme sports game, because Steep is the only one we've gotten in a while.
Was Skate an EA game?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll ever bring that back, though.
I don't think they would either. I think SSX would be the next one. I know Cool Borders was made by somebody else, but I love me some Cool Borders too. that was my not skiing game, but my snowboarding game.
Right.
It was fantastic. I had to open a screen. They were like Cool Borders, and it's like very 90s, very 90s.
Yeah,
but it was great.
Like a 90s game.
If I had to pick between PGA Tours or SSX, I'd go SSX.
I kind of would too, just to be honest, because I never played SSX, but I always heard people talk about it when it was popular. So
And I think the time is now.
Yeah.
As John Cena says it in his song, his anthem for America.
Who you can't see who? I don't see anybody in that picture. Whenever they play a theme song, it's just theme song and air.
Yeah. So I think it would be good to see that happen. Quickly in the chat, Jacob said EA's baseball games are pretty bad. I don't know does EA have a baseball game?
No, it's RBI baseball. It's not EA. It's like by some smaller guy. It used to be a mobile game. That's how bad it was.
Oh wow.
And then it's pretty much a glorified batting practice to an extent. But it was 2K you're thinking of that had it was MLB 2K that had the baseball.
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
And they cut that off after 2013 because they had a falling out with the contract deal. But moving on from sports, we're done with that.
Yay, sports ball.
But we'll move through this as quickly as possible. Now, this is my guilty pleasure game, and this is another one that's every couple of years. We'll probably see the next iteration of Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
Yes.
It's, again, like the first one was 2014, second one was 2016, and I almost want to bet that'll be February of 2018, because both of them, the other two have always dropped on a February.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be late February 2018. I don't know how much they could change, because they did add a story mode, even though it was kind of a quest line. But it was fun.
Okay.
I played it. It was... I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's my guilty pleasure game. Now, the only thing, and I will give them credit, they changed up the servers, because pretty much all their games now are running on Frostbite.
Yeah, yeah.
And it looks gorgeous, and it helped the servers too, because the first one ran on cloud servers, and it was like every time I got in a match, like after about 30 minutes, it would just freeze up and I get kicked out. I'm like, okay, cool.
There
and it
it
would mainly be
is.
matches where I would be killing it.
Yeah.
I'd be doing really good, earning up all this experience, and then boom, and I would keep none of it, because you had to let the match
you have to finish it. Yeah. So would you say you're killing it like the guy that's on the screen right now?
Oh my god! I swear, if they bring out that again, I'm walking out. I'm like, I do not. That was the most awkward thing in their whole entire conference. Like they came out and the crowd was like,
What
Whoa.
the crap? Yeah.
"Whoa?" Question mark?
I think it's a good plan, man. Like you're putting a mascot to it. It's kind of like having Crash come out at a PlayStation conference or having Mario come out.
Stop defending them.
Like, I think if they're going to make this a series that continues and is really popular, they have to keep bringing the mascot out to keep it relevant.
Or lose money. Anyway, so that's that. Now let's talk about the meat and potatoes of what we're going to see.
Before we get there,
Okay.
got a question from the chat. Peggle 3.
Actually, that's one I've been on and off thinking, but I don't know if they'll do it. Like, it will make sense. It is time for a new Peggle, because Peggle 2, I think, came out 2014?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah.
So I think it's time to see Peggle 3. Now, seeing as how...
When did it come out, Allie?
2013.
2013.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was
at the end of the year.
Yeah, it was a launch game for Xbox, roughly. But, yeah. So I think it is time. I don't play Peggle, so I don't know what they could add to it, to be honest with you. So...
Blasting.
Pew, 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 pew,
Pew pew.
Isn't Peggle Blast one of the games?
I think that was a phone game.
Yeah, that's okay.
So...
Bejeweled.
So...
Let's get in the meat potatoes.
Yeah.
I'm hangry.
Yeah,
I am too.
it was a fun one.
We know that EA said last year they had a big presence with Star Wars. It was a lot of concept, but we know Battlefront 2 is a thing.
Yes.
Regular's dropping November 17th.
Mhm.
Deluxe is November 14th, 3
Yep.
days before. And then we know for a fact, and this is why they confirmed this, but I was going to say this before it was confirmed. I predicted that they were going to show the multiplayer at EA's
Yeah.
conference, and then they're going to show single player at Sony's conference, because they're
Yeah.
going to have they have that partnership.
Yeah,
They're
they
gonna
have a
honor it.
partnership because they picked the right console.
Yeah, of course, the winning console.
Yeah.
But how much do you want to see from the multiplayer side of things?
I want to see as much as they will show us. I want to see maps. I want to see some, in-depth nature to it. I would like to see more of the customization part of it, because that was what was pretty much lacking in the first one.
Yeah.
Like you had your different guns and you had your different characters per se.
Yeah.
But the perks and everything were pretty just kind of basic. It was,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
I mean, it wasn't anything stellar. It was more like burn cards. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So
That's where you got most of your depth. So I want to see some good stuff.
Which game is this again?
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second.
It's okay.
But I'm excited. I'm more excited to see the story. What else? Yeah. We also saw Visceral's game, which is Amy Hennig went to work on. It's going to be it's going to be a story heavy game.
Yeah.
I think it's the most far along, because you actually saw like a little teaser snippet at the very end. I think they show more of that this year. Like, I don't know if they want to show an actual trailer or gameplay, but I think we see more of that at this conference.
Okay. I think they will as well.
Now, this one, I know you and I were excited because I forgot who this guy was until you pointed it out. Respawn's game with Stig Asmussen, and it showed him the concept. EA's big. That's one big thing that I know gets our goat. Is
They're
they
all
just show
about
concept.
They're all about their concept and all about like the.
Here's what's coming. Please be excited.
Yeah, and it's kind of just like bare bones stuff, but they're all about that.
Oh yeah, but you saw him working with lightsaber choreography, so it's going to be an action heavy game, because this is the man who pretty much was around God of War.
Yeah, he was
So-
he was pushing God of War the whole time he was there. So that's awesome.
Do you think we see anything, or do you think we just see like another tease?
No, I think we see something.
Okay.
It might just might be a still image, and they're like, oh, this is
Because I
gonna
think
be.
it's one of their farther out games. to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, I think it is for sure.
Do you think we'll see anything Old Republic related? We didn't see anything last year, but they did an expansion 2 years ago.
I think they possibly could do something with the Old Republic MMO game, keeping that going, because they put all of this time and effort into it. There's no reason to let it die, since there's
Yeah.
still players on the game. Until they see the money going,
Yeah.
away, then there's no reason not to. So what do you think on that? Do you think they would?
I think it's time. I think it's even if it's like a smaller expansion, like a Rise of Iron thing for Destiny. I think it's time to do something new with that game. Just even if it's just adding like an event or a feature into it. Like I think it's time because BioWare, like they just pushed out Mass Effect. I know it's a different BioWare studio, but I think it's time that they show something with Old Republic, even if it's not this year per se. I think they're ready to show something again.
Yeah, they need to keep the game relevant. Back into the chat real quick. Here's the icing on the cake in the new Star Wars game. The last one sucked. I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
Like-
There were things to like. There were things to not like. One of the things that irked me was they asked $60 for the game, $50 for the season pass, and then a year later comes out with the Ultimate Edition with everything for $40.
Yeah.
That when I saw that on our listing, I flipped out. I'm like, are you kidding me? I literally
Yeah.
spent almost two games worth of money to have you sell it back for 40.
Yeah.
No,
And
sir.
my biggest thing with EA, and if you look at freaking Activision, like they are money grubbing fools.
Big time.
Money grubbing fools.
Especially
And,
DICE.
Yeah.
Even though that they're going to, I shouldn't speak too soon, but they are going to rectify that. They're not going to have a season pass. See, DICE came out and said that, but then EA came out and said, whoa. We may not do a typical season pass, but we might have something for you. So they're not committing to the fact that they won't have a season pass, but they
Yeah.
might not do it because they realized how divisive that was for the audience in the first one. So I don't think there will be one unless they announce it today, but we'll see.
Yeah. One more thing from Ethan Toole. It wasn't bad. It just lacked content without DLC, and this still kind of lacked content when it was said and done.
I can agree to that to an extent. I thought the first couple of map packs were uninspiring other than the Cloud City.
Yeah.
But the Death Star and then the Rogue One stuff got better. But as far as like modes from the get-go, yeah, it was hollowed out for $60. You know,
Yeah.
if they charged 40 for it and then $30 season pass, we wouldn't be having this issue.
Yeah, I liked the game. It was what it was. It was kind of a tech demo of it of
Yeah.
what the new one's going to be. But it was gorgeous. Like it was absolutely gorgeous. I still think it's one of the best looking games that is out right now.
Oh yeah, and they're also doing a multiplayer beta later this summer too for Battlefront 2. So I think they're really learning from how much people complained about the first one, and really are taking the steps to make sure that they put out the best game possible. So, moving on, Need for Speed Payback is a thing. They said what they were going to do. They were going to take last year off, come back, and make a Need for Speed game people will want. It's going to come out November 10th for the regular game, and then November 7th for the deluxe. Interesting thing, the last two Need for Speeds were online only. This one is going to be, you can play offline.
Thankfully.
Which is, I don't know why you wouldn't do it. Like, I understand games who have a multiplayer feature, but when you just put online for period, like no matter if it's story mode or not, that's dumb to me.
Yeah, it is dumb. You're cutting off a huge section of people that play these games. So it's ridiculous that you would do that. And I think Xbox learned that lesson when they were like, our new console is going to be only online. You know, and then you
have the great Don Matrick.
Yeah. And my biggest thing is like I love Need for Speed. I love Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2. Carbon was really good as well. And then I fell off hard.
I did too. I mean, I didn't play them religiously. My brother did more of that. But, you know, they were always intriguing to watch. Rivals was okay. The new Need for Speed was,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of cool concepts, but it's like they just threw it together. It's like when you make food. If you just throw ingredients together without actually paying attention to what you're putting in there, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's like cooking on Breath of the Wild. If you don't know what you're making, it's going to be nasty.
But I do like it, and they're trying to separate themselves from like the typical racing sims of Forza and Gran Turismo. So they're trying to go more actiony with their in-game content, like heists kind of stuff. So it's almost kind of like should be called The Run 2, which was terrible. But
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're trying to separate themselves and try and have a piece of the mind share in the racing genre.
Yeah, because they've got to find something that makes them different than the others.
So moving on, we just saw Mass Effect Andromeda met with mixed reception. Do you think we see the new Dragon Age? It's been teased several times, but do you think that we'll see at least some kind of snippet from Dragon Age?
Yeah, I think we'll see something.
Yes.
So
This is my guess. If they do show anything, it'll be a very quick snip. This is something that could happen. It'll be a very quick snippet, and it'll be a map of Tevinter, because that's absolutely where the next game's going to be taking place.
that would be cool to see.
For those who have not played Trespasser, don't worry about it.
Yeah, like I haven't played Inquisition enough to know what the crap is going on in the game, but the Treventers were always really interesting in the first two games, and the books they delve into it a lot more. But the lore's there, and I think it would be really interesting to see them go there. So if they're wanting to keep these people engaged and keep people coming back to Dragon Age, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Minor spoiler alert. At the end of the Trespasser DLC, I won't say anything else. Like it shows them like they're having, because of something that went down, they're having to go search for things, and it zooms in on like they're like looking at the map of Deventer.
Oh.
So it's like, oh, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, oh,
Speaking of BioWare, they're talking about a new IP. I don't know if we'll necessarily see it, but I think they'll do, if anything, they'll do a concept. But the supposed rumor is it's going to be a Destiny type game, like massive universe, MMO-ish elements. You know, I don't know.
They've already got one. It's called the freaking Old Republic.
I know, but they're trying to do. It's on PC, right? So they
Yeah.
need one for consoles.
They poured it over. It's like
I don't know if
DC Online.
I mean, you're.
What they
Yeah.
do is like they take it, they kind of like shave off the hairy parts that don't need to be put on the console, and then boom, there you go. There's you a new game. There you go.
I guess, but
I know it's not a new
wanna-
IP.
I know. I don't. I guess what I'm saying is, it's going to take elements from Destiny. I don't think they're saying
What,
it's
a
exactly
bad
like,
story?
or no story.
I feel like if any, like, I don't know how they'll do with MMO, but I guess if it's, the MMORPG, because BioWare is very good, at least like with the story elements of their RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think that actually be really cool. So
Yeah,
something like that.
I would like-
Story-wise.
I would like to see it, but how about this? What if it? Well, no, it's a new IP, but what if the next Dragon Age is an MMO? How would you
be
feel about that?
interesting.
Because they've done it with Elder Scrolls, and that's the Morrowind expansion is doing well from what I've been seeing. So
Yeah.
it's got life in it, but I don't know. That's just something I wanted to throw in there. Is like, how would you feel about them if they took Dragon Age MMO route?
That would be interesting, especially like given how all of Inquisition ended with Trespasser.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I always love BioWare. They're one of my favorite developers, so I'm looking forward to see what they do.
Yeah.
They're always good.
Now, do you think it's time, because I enjoyed this series, even though the third one was met with a lot of criticism on how it ended, do you think it's time for Dead Space to come back? I know Visceral's working on Star Wars, but
Yeah.
could they be having a second team working on making a comeback? Like, I think if they did it, it'd be a complete reboot, like new protagonist, new
Yeah.
setting, the works.
I don't think they're splitting that team. Like right now, with them trying to push out the Star Wars game, if they split that team, like even if they have a few people working, that's a few people that could be working on the Star Wars game.
Yeah.
If it's somebody working on a new Dead Space game, it's going to be another developer, and it won't be Visceral.
Yeah, I mean, without knowing how far along the Amy Hennig game is, I would say I would agree with you.
Yeah, and here's my thought also with it. Visceral has worked on Dead Space for so long. After a while, they don't want, like, developers don't want to work on the same type
Yeah.
of game. You look at Naughty Dog; they have worked on Uncharted for a really long time. Then they introduced
Last of
Us, and then they're finishing out Uncharted with the Legacy, Lost Legacy. And
Well, then look at Guerrilla. They worked on Killzone for some
Yeah.
years, and now they did Horizon.
and then it was such a breath of fresh air. So I think that would be. I think it's going to be somebody else.
So,
If I could direct your attention to the
chat, yes.
The new Bioware IP is called Dylan. They actually released a trailer or two, but it's really ambiguous, and you can't take much from it. Ha ha ha.
It's the code name is Dylan. I did hear that, so we don't know if that's, with the code names, we don't know if that's ever the official
Yeah.
thing, but
Scorpio.
we'll get to that tomorrow, but I wouldn't mind them keeping that name, actually. But I digress.
Yeah, I saw this image earlier of like the computer screen, but you can't really see anything
No.
out of it. At least pulling it up for us on the stream.
Oh yeah.
It's all good. So you can see it right there. It's blurry. I tried to zoom in this morning, trying to get a leg up on the predictions, but
In time. But going on, last year, 2 years ago, they showed off this small indie game called Unravel.
Yes.
And because of that, they announced last year that they're going to have this EA Originals program.
Yeah.
And then they showed off the game Fe,
Yeah.
or Fee, however you pronounce
Free
it.
Five Phone.
Yes. But it was a game based on sound. You use sound to communicate. It was a really intriguing game. It's not
I
out
agree.
yet. I would like to see it get out this year. It may be one of their, and it's out now moments, but do you think, now they didn't announce it there. It was like later. It was actually December, excuse me. Sea of Solitude is their next game in their Originals program.
Yep.
Haven't really shown off gameplay, but all I saw was this image of a person in a boat in like an abandoned village covered in water, and then there's giant fish underneath it, and it's like, what is happening in this game? I'm intrigued.
Was T-Pain that guy on the boat?
He's on the boat and he's going fast.
And a nautical
So, what
theme
was
take
this
me
game
to
called
Africa.
Sea of Solitude.
Did you get the reference, son?
No,
I'm on a boat by a lonely island.
that's one of the ones I haven't listened to.
That is some really cool art.
Yeah, see, that's the image. Like that, I looked at the top image. I was like, oh, this looks like an exploration game. Then I looked at the bottom part, and I was terrified because it's like,
It's cool how it's like you can like see the whole. It's like some place that just got flooded because you can see all the buildings underneath it and stuff.
right. So, but do you think we'll see more from them, or would you rather see another original thing like one of the like Fee or Sea of Solitude, or would you rather see them also introduce Unravel 2?
I don't want to see Unravel 2.
Really?
No, I don't.
I don't think it needs a sequel.
Yeah, I don't either. And it did okay, but I think they need to focus on showing more of the games that they've already announced instead of like, here's a sequel to the thing we've already put out, but those things that we've talked about before, we're not going to show those.
Yeah.
Like
fair.
I think that's the wrong step to take on that.
Last thing we're going to talk about here, they're the only conference, like, I know Microsoft didn't have it either last year, but they have talked about it in the past about VR stuff. Do you think we see anything VR related from EA? They're the only ones who haven't really jumped. Yes, they did the X-Wing mission for Battlefront, but they haven't really masked it or shown it at their conference. Do you think it's time?
I think you see support with some games.
Yeah.
I don't think we see a ton
Right.
with them, just because VR was supposed to be this huge thing. I see how you doing. You're not trusting me over here. VR was supposed to be this huge thing, and then it just kind of, like after E3 last year, it fizzled a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the industry is definitely noticing that.
Well,
and
it doesn't help that Oculus fumbled the ball at launch because they came out before EA last year and they fumbled the ball. Vive did okay. PSVR is the only one that's somewhat profitable.
yeah, PSVR is profitable because it sold the right amount. Like it was you were easy to get it. You didn't have to have a computer that could really push it. Like
Right.
you didn't have all of these things. You literally had a PS4 and then this headset. That's all you needed. A little camera.
Yeah.
A little point out here, RP Anonymous said the text literally says SOS on Sea of Solitude.
I was gonna point that out, but you guys were talking about something. It was a very good graphic design.
Yeah.
Really liked that.
Whoever did that design, they earned their
Graphic design is their passion.
yeah, they earned their money.
Yes, they did.
They earned their money. Okay, so
it is time, sir,
it's time.
to start our competition. Our friendly competition.
A friendly competition that I did not
Allie
prepare
thinks we're
for.
going to murder each other, whoever wins, apparently.
Wait, what?
Our
He was telling me
competition.
that you
just-
think we were too competitive.
No. The reason I didn't want to do anything is I didn't want to put effort into making the petition.
Touche. But how this is going to work, we're each going to have 5 predictions.
5.
They're each going to be worth a point, or if you get partial, you get half a point. And we're going to have a pie in the sky, an extra one. The one that where it sounds crazy, but it still could happen.
Yeah,
And if we
yeah.
get that right, for whatever reason, 2 points.
2 points.
Now, it has to be something legitimate. Like, if it's something confirmed, like you can't say, we're going to see Madden. No, that will not count. I will ban you forever if you try and pull that junk with me. But if you say something like Dragon Age, because we don't really know what's there, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But we can expound upon it. Like, hey, Dragon Age, and it's out next spring or whatever. If you want to do something like that, I'll allow it. It's fine. Or if you wanted to take one that someone else says and
And
elaborate on it
tweak
and add
it,
more,
yeah.
that's fine with me too. All's fair game here. All's fair in love and war.
And predictions.
Also, for Dragon Age, it'll come out in November. I'm pretty sure all the other ones have come out in November.
Shh. Don't help him.
No, okay.
I don't have
I
a Dragon Age prediction.
Yeah, all Dragon Age predictions are my predictions. Also, if I do make any predictions, they're gonna be like Todd Howard goes out on screen and just devours all the children in the It's gonna be like really absurd stuff like that.
Now, Zach, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm always got to be extra.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I know.
We did 5 and plus 1, but I made some extras just in case you take some of mine.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna just
and-
give me
and-
that.
All right. And I'm not going to go order. I'll skip around if I have to. It's just whatever I'm feeling.
Oh,
if I'm
yeah.
feeling the flow.
You're feeling lucky,
Yeah.
punk.
So, if you're ready, sir.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
let's
give
do
my
this.
first prediction.
Okay.
EA comes out and announces
Mm-hmm.
EA Access will come to PS4 this fall. Same subscription model. I don't think they'll say it's out now because they don't want to undercut, all the games that are going to be coming out in the fall. So I think, hey, it's going to be available, and then that way you can take access of the Madden, new FIFA, whatever else they show, type of thing. So I think EA Access will come to PS4 this fall.
See, I almost want to undercut you right there on that
Why?
because I've got a way to go around that,
Okay. Well,
but I'm not yet. I'm not yet. Okay.
right.
They're gonna come out. They're gonna be talking. I'm gonna be
Oh,
talking the talk, man.
Okay. That
Talking
jargon.
that jargon, concepts. They're gonna show the new IP that they're working on
Mm-hmm.
is KOTOR 3. That's what Amy Henning's game is.
Darn you.
Ha, son!
All right. Well,
Sorry, that's my movies.
you've already cut. I don't want to say you undercut my pie in the sky, but number 2
You getting all flustered over there?
already. Lord. Allie, do you want to give one, or you just kind of want to jump in whenever?
I'll jump in whenever.
Okay. Would you like to jump in now or wait?
What were the games that we discussed? I'm sorry, I got no sleep last night.
Okay. So.
I heard Couture.
Yeah, he
KOTOR,
said-
Knights
he
of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old
Okay.
Republic, and I said EA Access will come to the fall, or PS4 in the fall.
Okay. I have nothing to add to this.
Okay. Number 2,
Mm-hmm.
along with all their sports games, they're going to announce a comeback of NCAA football.
Dang it.
But
We have, before you go any further, we have someone else in chat that said this. His name's Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He also said NCAA football returns.
yes, but my twist is they're going to learn from bringing back a dormant franchise so soon, like with NBA Live, and it's going to come out next year. I think they're going to learn. They're not going to say it's back and it's going to be out this fall. I think they're going to take a whole year, make it shine, because they knew how much money it made them back in the day before all
Yep.
the sanctions and all that stuff. So they're going to take their time. So I think we'll see it. They'll just say it's back, nothing else, and they'll say see more next year.
Okay. My number 2.
Mm-hmm.
They get back the rights of NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
They're not only doing football, but they're also doing March Madness again.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think of because that got cut off years even. 2010 was the last
Yep,
one they did.
I think
Blake
so.
Griffin was on the cover, right?
Possibly, I'm not
yeah,
sure.
but yeah, that would be crazy if they
Yeah, I
brought
know.
that back too.
I
'cause
know.
College basketball is getting with the
Bigger and
tournament.
bigger,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
getting bigger. It's getting back a market. So I think that's totally viable. Allie, would you like to add? You don't have to make an official prediction. You can just say something. Okay.
When it comes to the sports games, I'm not going to really make any predictions about those, except that there will be people and there will be sports. But apparently the last March Madness game was, I think, 2009.
2010. March Madness, yes, but there was it was just then they did NCAA basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they did. You were right though. They did do a separate March Madness game, but they also did just like a straight up NCAA basketball game. Number 3. EA comes out and says all their sports lineups for their fiscal year, including UFC, will have VR experiences. I saw this. I looked it up just to see what it was because 2K did it last year when PSVR came
Yeah,
out.
it was.
But it was just challenges. I think they
Yeah.
do something like that with their sports games. EA does, like, whether it's like a punt, pass, and kick challenge for Madden, 3-point contest for Live, a headbutt go, or like a corner kick tryout for FIFA, whatever, you know. Or I think they add something VR related with their sports games this year.
Okay. By number 3, they come out. Got this epic music going. You see this dragon silhouette just flying across.
No, BioWare, go back. It's not your turn.
They confirmed Dragon Age new game coming out. I'm totally stealing hers right
Okay.
now. November.
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 This year.
This year.
You think they're going to put out 2 BioWare games, even though, yes, it was Montreal that did
Yeah.
Mass Effect.
Yeah. If they've got it and it's ready to go.
I don't think they want to.
It could be possible because a lot of the like Dragon Age voice actors have been like kind of putting stuff on Twitter.
Right.
And we know they're not doing any more DLC for Inquisition. Trespasser was the last one.
Right. No, I understand.
So it's possible.
It's just I don't think they want to. Now,
They
here's-
got to have something to
here's
bring
the-
them back from the crap that was Mass Effect Andromeda.
You're right, and I think they want to remove that mind share as fast as possible. But I don't think they want to undercut themselves as well. I think they want to give it space. So I think it doesn't come out any earlier than spring, if they were to put it out.
Is that
I
your
would
fourth
say,
prediction?
I'd say fall next year. My
Fall-
guess
yeah.
would be fall next year.
The safe bet is next fall, but I think they don't.
We don't do safe bets, man.
No, actually, no. My guess it comes out next month. Dragon Age 4 next
Oh
month.
God, Lord, that would be a dumpster fire.
They don't call it Dragon Age 4.
What do they call it?
They call it Dragon Age something.
Do you think it'll tie back to
they're
the
not-
Inquisition,
They call
or
it-
do you think it'll do some other era?
It will absolutely tie back to Inquisition.
Yeah.
Like I wanted, because like I know not everyone has played Trespasser, so like I don't want to say what happened, but let's like you know what the next game is, at least vaguely what it's going to be about,
Mm-hmm.
and you know who the final boss is going to be. Like you know all that stuff. Like it's set up very
Right.
well.
Okay.
But, yeah, no prediction. Actually, no. Comes out July 2nd this year. Watch for it in stores, people.
That would be bananas, and I would probably wait before I even pre-order
Oh,
that
no, I'd
because.
absolutely buy it. And be like, give me all the bugs. Buy it.
Oh God. Do you have anything to add, Allie?
What was you said it was about the VR sports, right?
Yeah, I said they'd add a VR experience to all their sports games coming up.
My only thing would be I don't think they would do all of their sports games.
Mhm.
I feel like they could definitely do some, especially
Just like the popular ones like
Mhm.
FIFA and Madden.
yeah, like with their really big ones. And I think that if it did well, they could probably like patch out other things later on.
Yeah.
But
Would you want to see it with UFC if they announced a third one? Because that would be cool, and that does
yeah.
well.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting.
So, number 4. What am I feeling here? BioWare announces that the Old Republic will be coming to consoles.
I like that.
So
I like
think that I didn't want to allude to anything, but you kind of cut that when you said you would be coming to consoles. But yeah, I think
Mhm.
I don't think it'll be this year now, unless that's a big announcement from the Old Republic it's out this fall. I think it may come out as be their spring game.
Yeah. Come out.
Mm-hmm.
And they start talking about Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of going, to Amy Hennig's game or whatever, start with Battlefront 2.
Oh no, I think I'll agree to that.
That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it as vague as that, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
get a point.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll yes, we know it's there, but we don't know when. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I guess. I'll throw you one bone. Your one bone.
I'll go. They'll at least show 5 minutes of gameplay
For Battle.
for Battlefront 2. That way,
see
it's
that.
not just like they're going to show it. They'll
Yeah,
show at least
fair.
5 minutes of gameplay from Battlefront 2.
I'll allow that. Allie.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think probably like at least 5 minutes of gameplay. Character models. Special like pre-order content. Does Battlefront have pre-order?
Yeah, it has. If you pre-order, you get the episode 8 costumes for Rey and
Yes,
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, they'll go more into depth. They'll show off all the stuff. So it's like, hey guys, buy our game.
Right.
Please buy
Yeah.
our game.
Please love us.
Please give us your money.
All right. Last one.
Last one, number 5.
Amy Hennig and Visceral come out and show their Star Wars game.
Yep.
It will be the rumored Space Pirate game they've been working on because they've had Han Solo figures littered throughout and then the Space Pirate flag over it. It will have Han Solo, but he will not be the main protagonist and will be given a 2018 release window.
Okay.
I think we'll see him not as sort of like a leader character, but he'll pop up in the story.
Okay.
I think he's like your Sully.
Yeah. My number 5. Now I'm going to go back and tweak yours.
Okay.
EA Access will be coming to PlayStation. It will be available today
Okay.
for free for a week.
Oh, like a free trial run.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
I'm impressed with that one.
I know. I wanted to save that one. I was like, I want to just wait.
So I'm gonna make an audible here for my pie in the sky prediction.
Brought to you by Audible.
Oh my god. Totally not scripted that way. BT dub. But my pie in the sky was gonna be KOTOR 3.
Yeah, I know.
So
I could feel it in your bones. Last night, just like touch your bones. I was like,
But-
what is it?
I'm gonna use my extra to say that EA has come out and say, because I used to love this series too, by the way. They come out and say that they have acquired from Crytek the rights to Crysis. They bring Crysis series back, and they remaster the first 3 games on new consoles out this fall.
Okay. All right. My pie in the sky. This one's hard. I use mine like.
While you are talking, I asked the chat if they agreed or disagreed with any of the predictions, and Ethan said, I agree. I think the VR stuff may be a little unlikely. I think they just do Madden, FIFA, and maybe some Star Wars stuff like they've already done.
I agree, but I just think it'd be cool because they're the only ones who really haven't jumped on the VR bandwagon 100%. So I mean, it probably won't happen, but that's the only thing I could see them jumping in with VR is their sports thing, since it's the easiest thing to do.
No, I agree. That'd be really cool to see.
I got it. Pie in the sky.
All right.
Stig's game is based off of a Sith,
Ooh, if you're about to say what I think you're about to say.
and that Sith is Darth Bane.
I figured.
That's my pie in the sky.
He's gonna be the main character, or gonna be the main antagonist.
Main character.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome that would be. Oh my
That'd be
god.
fantastic.
Oh my god. Ah, it'd be so awesome. Ah,
So those are our predictions. These are not going to be on the docket. These are not going to be the ones that count.
Okay,
I'll just share
okay.
with you what else I already said. My original
Yeah.
pie in the sky.
how did I do without like having any predictions?
You did okay.
I know.
No, so you did okay. The last couple ones you did really well on. First couple ones, except for KOTOR 3,
I know.
because you stole it. So that was my pie in the sky. My other one will come out and say, because DICE has a partnership with their Battlefront series with Sony. I said Visceral, their Star Wars game has content that's first on Xbox.
Ooh, I can see that.
I think Xbox needs to have a mind share of that market too, because they have Battlefield, right? But that's every other year, and Star Wars is just becoming like a mainstream thing with EA. So I think Xbox wants to have a piece of that pie too. So I think they have a partnership, and it's also a jab for Amy Hennig to Sony. It's not Sony didn't screw her over. It was Naughty Dog technically, but because Naughty Dog's part of Sony, she's basically like, up yours.
Yeah.
So I could see that. I also said that they did have a second team at Visceral, and they will revive Dead Space, new character, new whatever, and then they remaster the original trilogy for consoles out spring.
Okay. One that would be a safe bet, and Ethan mentioned it way earlier. Battlefield 1 DLC will be announced at the conference.
You know, they really haven't. What is it? The second map pack just dropped, I think.
I think so.
It's granted, I don't think they want to take away a lot from Battlefront 2, but because that Battlefield 1 is doing so well,
Yeah.
they want to keep that hype train going.
Yeah, I agree. I think they show it. They do not confirm a new Battlefield. They won't say anything about a new
Oh, no,
Battlefield
no,
because that's going to be next year at most when
Oh,
they even
yeah.
even tease it.
It'll be like what Ubisoft is supposedly going to do with Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed, do one every other year.
Yeah,
Rather
yeah.
than having Assassin's Creed every year.
I think having some DLC there will make it where it's interesting and where it will keep that game going because they have a really great group of like players there that are engaged with the game, and it has some pretty good depth to it.
Right.
I enjoyed it a lot. The story mode was really fun.
Do you think we see anything Mass Effect related? Like, do you think they try and salvage anything from Andromeda and say, hey, here's some kind of multiplayer stuff, or here's some kind of quest line? Because, you know, they added in the Quarry.
The Quarians, yeah. They might confirm some new species being put into the game, but I don't think that they do much of anything. I think they try to avoid it altogether.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they avoid everything that is Mass Effect, they're automatically admitting defeat on that game.
Yeah.
I think if anything, they would announce a very small like DLC,
Mm-hmm.
like very very
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
Um,
Like maybe, hey, here's a shepherd skin for your game or whatever.
yeah, it's like something
So.
like that's just like because like a while ago they said they're just kind of like oh no
Yeah.
we love all of our games.
Yeah.
Go away.
Except you, the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
They will replace all of the music in Mass Effect to Yakety Yak, Don't Talk Back.
I can get down with that.
Lord.
Thanks, Ethan. It is about 3
1:57.
minutes from the conference. How everything is going to work is we're not going to stream during the conference. We're not going to talk over it or anything.
Just to be on the safe side in case one of us can't control our filter.
Yeah,
And I'm
so-
talking about me about that one.
Yeah, so we will be back right after the conference is over and be giving our reaction to the conference, everything that happened, and then we will be doing some breakout videos to go more in depth with all of that. So just
Come
want,
back and hang out with us again, guys.
yeah, and if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button on the Nerd Cave. If you're over on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're on Twitch, go ahead and follow us. Make sure you're wanting to spend the rest of E3 with us. Tomorrow's E3, we're going to be starting at what time, Derek?
It'll be 3. So Microsoft is the first on the docket. They'll be 4 o'clock our time, Central Time. So pre-show will be 3.
Okay, so
So-
pre-show is going to be 3. It's going to be ran just like this. We're going to be doing all of the stuff that's confirmed, then our predictions, then the show, and then our reactions, and then later that night, freaking late at night.
Yeah. Bethesda is going to be at 11 p.m. Central Time. So our pre-show will be at 10 p.m. Central, and we will still be here. Hopefully it only lasts an hour, and hopefully at midnight we'll be here to give our tough it out and give our post-show reactions.
Yeah.
The coffee.
Yeah.
I'm not a coffee person,
that'd have to
so
be-
that'll suck for me.
At work at 8 in the morning.
Just get like some caffeine. There's some caffeinated
Chocolate
sodas.
milk is my nectar, so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not mine, because the chocolate milk and my stomach do not go together.
Sounds like a personal
Right.
problem.
I do get wrecked. It is not good. But yes, thank y'all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you come back for the post show.
To see all our excitement
Yes.
or disappointment.
Yeah, or disappointment, you know. And thank you, Ethan Toole, for saying happy E3. So we're going to go. We'll see you in a little while. This has been Zach.
And Derek.
Have a week.